You know that inner voice that tells you who you are, the one that runs commentary on everything you do, cataloging your failures and successes. What if I told you that voice isn't you, and everything it's been saying is based on a case of mistaken identity? This lesson teaches that your true identity, who you actually are, remains unchanged by anything that happens in your life. It's saying that beneath all the stories, roles, and self-concepts you carry, there's something in you that was never damaged, never diminished, and never lost, something that exists exactly as it was meant to be. Sarah checks her phone and sees her boss wants to discuss her performance tomorrow. Immediately, the familiar voice starts. You're going to get fired. You never do anything right. Remember that mistake from last month? She feels her chest tighten as she begins mentally rehearsing her defense. We all know this voice. It's been with us so long we assume it's who we are. But here's what's fascinating. If this voice were really you, who's listening to it? Who's the one hearing all these assessments and judgments? Think about how much energy we spend maintaining our self-image. It's like you've been wearing a name tag at a party that says, "Hi, I'm anxious," or "Hi, I'm not good enough," and then you realize the name tag was never actually yours. You've been introducing yourself as someone else's identity this whole time. Back to Sarah. She's now lying in bed, running through every possible scenario for tomorrow's meeting. Her mind generates responses to imagined accusations. She's defending herself against attacks that haven't happened. From a boss who's probably just checking in about a project deadline. But notice what's happening here. She's not just worried about her job, she's defending an entire identity. The identity of someone who messes up, who's always on thin ice, who has to constantly prove she belongs. It's exhausting because she's not just preparing for a meeting, she's maintaining a whole story about who she is. And we all do this. We wake up, put on our familiar name tag. Maybe it says, "Never quite enough," or "The one who has to fix everything," and then spend our day living out that identity. We don't even question if it's accurate. We just assume this is who we are. But then something shifts. Sarah notices she's arguing with a voice in her head as if it were a separate person. For just a moment, she realizes, wait, who's listening to this voice? Who's here before the commentary starts? This is the moment everything changes. When you realize you've been defending an identity that isn't actually you. It's like discovering you've been in a play, reading someone else's lines, thinking they were your own thoughts. In that pause, there's a stillness that feels more like her than any of the stories. She's not the anxious employee. She's not the person who made mistakes. She's not even the person who succeeds. She's the awareness that's been here all along, watching all these identities come and go. The relief is immediate, like setting down heavy luggage you forgot you were carrying. Because here's what we're discovering, what you actually are doesn't need defending. It was never under attack. The real you, the awareness reading these words right now, has been perfectly intact this whole time. When you peel off that borrowed label, you remember who was there all along. Not a better version of yourself. Not an improved identity, just the simple fact of being aware, present, here. The you that existed before you learned to be anxious, before you were taught to doubt yourself, before you picked up all these ideas about who you should be. Sarah feels it now. Lying there in the dark, she stops rehearsing. not because she's conquered her anxiety, but because she sees she's not the anxious one. She's the space in which anxious thoughts appear. She's the awareness that notices the tightness in her chest. She's what remains constant while all these worried thoughts come and go. This isn't about positive thinking. It's not about telling yourself you're wonderful. It's simpler than that. It's recognizing that what you are was never actually in question. You don't have to earn your worth or prove your value because what you are exists prior to all evaluation. The practical freedom of not having to be anyone in particular is staggering. Imagine walking into work tomorrow without your usual name tag, not replacing it with a better one, just showing up as the simple awareness you've always been. Sarah goes to her meeting. Her boss mentions the upcoming project deadline, just as she suspected. But something's different. She's not defending. She's not performing, she's just present, responding to what's actually happening instead of to the story in her head. When her boss asks about her timeline, she gives a clear answer. When he mentions the budget concerns, she addresses them directly. She's not being the anxious employee or the confident employee. She's just being, and ironically, this is when her best work emerges, when she's not trying to be someone. She has access to all her natural intelligence and creativity. This is available to all of us right now, not through years of therapy or meditation retreats, but through a simple recognition. The voice that's been telling you who you are has been reading from the wrong name tag this whole time. The you that's aware right now, that's noticed your breath while reading this, that's been here through every moment of your life, that's who you actually are. Unchanged by your achievements, untouched by your failures, present before every self-judgment, still here after every storm. When you stop defending and maintaining your self-image and simply rest in what you actually are, there's an immediate relief. You don't have to be anybody. You already are. You always were. Even reading these words, you can feel it. The simple fact of being aware, needing nothing, lacking nothing, already whole. This isn't a philosophy to believe. It's a recognition available in any moment. When the inner commentary starts up again, and it will, you can smile and remember, that's just the old name tag talking. And you're the one who notices. You're the space where all these thoughts and feelings appear and disappear. You're what remains when all the stories fall away. Sarah sleeps peacefully that night, not because her anxiety is gone forever, but because she's made a simple discovery. She doesn't have to be the anxious one. She doesn't have to be anything at all. She can simply be what she's always been, awareness itself, playing at being human, free to engage with life without the burden of defending an identity that was never actually under threat. Before we move into the meditation, if this is helping you, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. It's a simple way to keep practicing together. Let's find a comfortable position. There's no special way to sit. Just let your body settle. Take a breath. Not a special breath. Just notice that breathing is already happening. Feel the weight of your body in the chair, the temperature of the air on your skin. These simple facts of being here. Now notice any thoughts moving through your mind. Maybe thoughts about this meditation, about doing it right, about what comes next. Just notice them. See how you can be aware of these thoughts without being them. You're the one noticing. the space where thoughts appear. Feel if there's any tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your hands. You don't need to change anything. Just notice. Now let yourself rest as the one who notices. Not the tired one, not the worried one, not the one who needs to change, just awareness itself. Feel how this awareness doesn't need to hold any particular shape. It doesn't need to maintain any image. It simply is. If you notice yourself putting on a familiar name tag, I'm anxious or I'm not doing this right, just smile gently. That's the old habit. And you're the one who notices it. Rest here, in the simple fact of being aware. Nothing to fix, nothing to defend, nothing to become. This is what you are, what you've always been. The awareness that's been here through every moment of your life. When thoughts come, let them. When feelings arise, welcome them. You're the space where all of this happens. Unchanged by any of it. Take another breath. Feel your feet on the floor. The rhythm of your heartbeat. As we prepare to return to daily life, know that this awareness goes with you. It's not something you achieve in meditation. It's what you are. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Notice that the same awareness that was here in stillness is here now, reading these words. This is who you are. Before every story, beyond every name tag, simply here, simply aware, simply you. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a free digital copy of A Course in Miracles available through the link in the description. You're also welcome to leave a simple comment such as, I am grateful. Thank you for spending this time with me today. As you move through your day, remember, you don't have to carry those borrowed name tags anymore. Be gentle with yourself as old patterns arise. You're learning to rest in what you've always been. Until next time, take care.